Hey y'all, welcome back to the party. It's me, your girl, BrittReacts, and today we are reacting to Norm Macdonald and his 12-minute joke. Let's see what he has to say. I'm back.
Seems like there's too much news, because now they have 24-hour news. Now, when I was a young boy, the news was half a hour. That was the whole news, And
Half
a guy
a
would
hour.
come on and he'd have a tie, and shit, and he would say the news. And it was a half a hour long. Now, it's 24 hours long. Now, it turns out that back in the old days when it was only half an hour, they had it about right. That's about all the news there is.
One, he's saying half a hour. And I have always thought, why do we say half an hour? Because the English language will tell you that an only comes before a word that starts with a vowel. So it should be half a hour because hour starts with an H, which is not a vowel. So Norm, I like you already. Number two, boy, if he is not correct in the way that you will watch a news program and within 7 minutes, it has already recycled itself. Almost every morning, part of my morning routine is to turn on the news and just kind of let it be in the background while I start my morning routine, just to catch up on what's going on in this world. And literally before I have finished making my bed, brushing my teeth, getting my newborn together, and getting dressed, the same stories have recycled themselves. That's so crazy that he said that. Because it's really true.
Even then, there'd always be like a story, some fucking story at the end about a caribou or some horse shit. So there wasn't even enough to fill the half an hour. But 24 hours, way too long. So they have to keep repeating stories all the time and everything, and they'll make up stories, They do that a lot, make up things that aren't really news stories, but they have to, fill the 24 hours, And the one I noticed that they make up a lot, this is the latest one I've seen. I see this all the time on the news. The newsman will come on, he'll go, good evening, everybody. This is the newsman. Whatever he says, he's not going to say that. And he goes, our top story tonight, a lady has vanished.
That's it? That's it?
That's the story. And then he goes, let's go outside where there's another guy. So then they cut to outside.
He's so right. I love when people break down like everyday things that you watch and like never pay attention to. That is rather silly. Okay, let's talk about this. I reacted to Shane Gillis on Theo Von's podcast, and Shane brought up the name Norm Macdonald and said, when he was going through all of his cancellation drama, if you will, Norm called him, and it was the best phone call to receive from like one of his idols. And I was like, who is Norm? And y'all lit my comments on fire. You don't know Norm Macdonald? You have to react to Norm Macdonald. He's one of the greats. I mean, it was like loud. It was loud and clear. And I heard you, obviously, because I'm here. But the craziest thing happened last night. My husband was downstairs watching Dave Chappelle's new special on Netflix. And I was just kind of around the house with the baby and the bottles and my daughter who's sick and yada, yada, yada. And, could hear it. It was within earshot. And I heard Dave in his new special say the name Norm Macdonald. And I told him, I was like, pause that. And I told my husband, this is divine. When stuff like that happens to me, I'm like, this means I have to now react. If you guys weren't telling me I had to, the Lord said I had to, because Norm's name now is come out of my television one day after it was all in the comments. And so I just thought that was funny. But Dave too also gave Norm his flowers and said he was one of the greats. And so I've never heard of this man. I've never heard of him. But if he came up twice in a matter of 36 hours in my space, then he must be fantastic. So let's keep going.
Go outside where there's another guy. So then they cut to outside. And then there's a guy outside and he's like, hey, listen, how's it going inside?
They do.
We're outside and we found out about this lady that vanished. Her name was Janice, and they found her car here in the Taco Bell parking lot. And don't worry about the car, it's fine. But can't find hiding her hair of the lady. Well, back to you. So then you're watching, you go, well, I don't give a fuck on account I never knew Janice in the first place. Matter of
How many of you think this is the accuracy of like you barely getting actually any information? You know what I mean? They're cutting to people who are on the scene and the people back in the studio. And you're like, but I've learned nothing. I've learned nothing short of this lady's name and that the car was found intact. Like, I know nothing. I have more questions than when I started. Like, I feel that way all the time watching the news.
Matter of fact, I'm kind of happy it's Janice and not somebody I know.
Awful but true.
But then
Awful
what they
but
do
true.
is they start telling you about Janice, you know? And they go, hey, we found out some cool things about Janice. And you're like, no, that's cool. I don't want to hear it. They go, no, you want to hear it.
Oh, you want to hear it.
They can't help themselves. So they go, let's go back to Bill. He's still outside. And how's it going, Bill?
He hasn't moved.
Bill's like, it's all right. It's no inside, but it's cool. And
that's also a thing. You always know, like, the reporters outside want to be at the desk inside. Like, I think we all know that at the heart of hearts, the inside job in the studio is like the creme de la creme of the like entire program.
Bill's like, it's all right. It's no inside, but it's cool. And anyways, we found out about Janice. Turns out she's a good lady. And we found some friends of hers, and here they are. And then, sure enough, they show a lady, and it says, friend of Janice. And she says, I'll tell you something about Janice. You want to hear about Janice? Janice is the type of lady that you could always turn to. You know, you ever want to turn to somebody? Like if you got a problem or something, and you feel like you want to turn? You ever do that? Or maybe your neck just hurts and you want to anyways. The point of it is that once you swiveled your head over this way, the person you'd most want to see in your eye line would be Janice.
I love his very kind of like nonchalant, mumble fumble kind of delivery. He's like, anyway, and you know, like I love this. It feels very unrehearsed. It really does just feel like he's up on stage telling a story. It doesn't feel like, you know, this is someone who has to practice. And they all, to get to this level, you actually probably rehearse more than you'd like to admit. But to make it feel like you don't, I think is a top tier quality to have in this industry. In a comedic setting, like it really feels like I'm just listening to him tell me a story about, apparently her name is Janice Cheese.
Over this way. The person you'd most want to see in your eye line would be Janice. And then they had another friend of Janice that wasn't the first one. And she'll go, I'll tell you,
wasn't
Janice.
the first one.
Oh, my God. She was the type of lady that she could walk into a room and light up the whole room, you know? And she didn't have a fucking lighter, not like that. She would just somehow...
Light it up.
Through
Who
sheer
knows?
tyranny of will, she could somehow illuminate a room. I don't know. And that'd be Janice's third friend lady that's not one of the earlier two. And then she goes, I'll tell you about Janice. Is that who you're asking about, Janice? Janice was the type of lady that you could be talking to your best friend in the whole world, and then Janice come in and you go, fuck you, I'm talking to Janice. Because Janice is better than you. Come on, let's face it.
I'm lost. So these women giving this interview to the outdoor newsman, are they talking like this? Like about Janice to the man that's outside, who will then go back to the man that's inside telling the news? Is that where we are in this? Is that what's going on, y'all?
Because Janice is better than you. Come on, let's face it. She's better than all of us. So anyways, then you're at home and you start liking Janice, you know what I mean?
Right, now
you
you're
start
like,
getting invested in her. You go,
where's
God
Janice?
damn, that Janice is a cool lady. I would like to meet her one day. That would be a lot of... Fuck, I forgot she vanished. Just my luck.
What is happening?
They'll find her. Then you get hope. That's not good. I don't give a fuck what Obama says. Hope is never good. Don't try it. never works out. So you go,
Don't try it. It never works out. Norm, I disagree with you. But I'm excited to see where this goes.
you go, oh man, they'll find Janice. They're putting pictures up of her on telephone poles. I think that worked once. And then the news keeps showing you more things about Janice, you know? And they'll show you like the home videos of her. You're like, God damn, look at that. She's eating a pizza. I like her hair like that. They'll find her.
They'll find
You
her.
become obsessed with Janice. It's all you can think of, you know? You're at work. Fucking just can't wait to get home.
This is me. I am this person. I am the person who hears a news story or watches a documentary and immediately gets to Googling. Like before the story is over, I need the who's, the what's, the when's, the where's, the how's, the why's. Like now I'm invested in Janice. What happened to Janice? Where's Janice's husband? Where's Janice from? Does Janice have kids and are her kids looking for her? Like I want to know everything. I am so guilty of that. Admittedly. And I have no shame in saying it.
Obsessed with Janice. It's all you can think of, you know? You're at work. Fucking just can't wait to get home, agonizing over Janice, you know, thinking about her with eating pizza and shit. And then you go home and your nights are just fevered dreams of, you know, Janice and bangs and shit like that.
Bangs? Janice and bangs?
And all you can do is turn on the TV and hope, and you know, and then one day, you know, they go, hey, more news on Janice. Here's Bill, he's still outside. And then Bill is like outside and he's like, here we are. Where, as you can see behind me, they are scouring the woods. They're still searching for Janice, you know? And then you go, oh, fuck, not the woods.
Scouring is a very popular word on the news. So he's spot on. And yeah, it's like when they get to telling you they're searching in the woods and like water and things like that. Norm, you're spot on, bud. I'm with you here.
You go, oh, fuck, not the woods. You know, that's not... Nothing good ever happens in the woods. I've seen enough of these fucking stories to know.
Facts,
Janice ain't coming bounding out of the woods anytime soon. She's like, hey, what's going on, everybody?
Oh, you found me.
I'm just taking a stroll through the woods.
What are you doing here?
I was just decided to take a stroll through the scraggly woods. Now, if they find you in the woods, they always find you in the same place. Every time they will find you in a shallow grave.
Yikes. Yikes.
I don't know why they don't just look there in the first place. But if I was the police chief, I'd go, listen, I want every shallow grave in the vicinity checked out.
That's terrible. That's so terrible. No, he's right though. It's like what? Like, how many times have you gone into the woods and it's just been like, oh, you guys, you're looking for me? Thank you. I'm fine. It's fine. Like, it's never really good. It's never really good. It's never really good. I'm so invested in this Janice story as if it's true. Norm, you've got me locked in.
I want to clear out this case by Tuesday on account of I'm running for DA or whatever. But doesn't shallow grave seem a mite rash?
A mite rash?
Like these serial killers are supposed to be so shrewd and cunning and everything, you know? At least according to the TV movies I've seen. And but then when it comes time for the grave, they get a little hasty, you know? Oh, there you go, 3 twigs and a leaf. That ought to do it. That doesn't look like Janice anymore. I don't recall Janice ever wearing 3 leaves and a twig. Oh, well. Guess I'll go home and await the authorities now. You gotta prepare these things, you know? You gotta be a little smarter than that. You know, what I would do, and I would never, ever kill a lady in cold blood.
How is he able to deliver in this like nonchalant way. Like it literally is like how? Like this is why it's a talent, right? Because this is not an easy thing to do and do with good timing and good wit and, you know, make a bunch of people laugh. Like if I just got on stage and told a story, a fictitious story like this, like y'all would be like, tomato, tomato, tomato. I definitely get how he is like a trailblazer and a legend. Like he just kind of has this thing, this je ne sais quoi, this demeanor about him that feels like you should be paying attention. You know what I mean? And I'm like on pins and needles for the ba-dum-psh of it all, because he's told some jokes and a lot of this is really wildly true, but I'm like, where are we going with this? Like, I want to get to the end of this race so badly.
A little smarter than that. You know, what I would do, and I would never, ever kill a lady in cold blood.
We hope not, Nolan. Why are they cheering for that?
I know I say that now. I don't really know. I can't predict the future, but I don't believe
Oh my gosh.
I know there's no river long enough doesn't contain a bend, but I believe that right now.
That one went over
It
my
might just
head.
be vanity. I don't think I would kill a woman in cold blood. But if I did, I would plan it out very carefully, you know, because there's a lot at stake. You know, you think about it, you probably, you know, probably lose your job. I don't know what happens. That's a blemish on the old CV, you know?
A blemish on the old CV, yeah? You know? Like, what? Oh, I know if I said CV to like my brother, he'd be like, what's that? And so I've aged myself.
Even in today's enlightened society, there remains a stigma to being a psychosexual sadist. But what I would do is I would look at the lady, I would select a lady, and then I would follow her habits. You understand what I'm saying? Like I would watch her very carefully, you know? And I go, hey, I noticed that every day she goes to that cheese sandwich shop. And then she comes out with a little paper bag. I'll bet you anything there's a cheese sandwiches in there. You know? So then I keep that in my head. You
What
understand?
is happening?
And
You
I
understand?
say, hey, I notice every Wednesday evening she goes with her other lady friends and they go down to the YWCA and they play basketball with each other, which is fine nowadays. You know?
Which is fine nowadays. I don't know when this was filmed. That's a funny joke. My world is surrounded by women's college basketball, and you know, it's come leaps and bounds now, but you know, some still think it's not worth it. So that joke was funny to me. He speaks, I like he's using words and phrases, some of which I'm not familiar with, but otherwise I love his speech. It's very like elevated and like sophisticated. I don't know. I just like the way he speaks.
And they play basketball with each other, which is fine nowadays, you know? So what I would do is, on Wednesday, I would go down to the YWCA, and what would I be holding in my right hand in the parking lot but a cheese sandwich? So then
what happened to Janice?
Come out of the YWCA, you know, all sweaty with her... you know, her ridiculous three-colored ball and everything there, you know? And
three-colored ball?
And then she go, hey, what's in your right hand? And I go, nothing. I'd be coy, you know? And she go, there's something in your right hand. I go, listen, lady, who knows more about what's in their right hand? You or me? I believe, this. Now, this is just a cheese
This is so
sandwich.
ridiculous.
Why, you like them or something? I got a whole fucking van full of them over there.
Are there cheese sandwich shops? Like, is that a thing? You've got a van full of them? Run. And this story isn't even about Janice anymore, is it? Where's Janice? See, I'm invested. I need to know where Janice is, Norm.
I got a whole fucking van full of them over there. Right over there. Yeah, that craziest looking fucking van you ever saw. That's filled with cheese sandwiches.
The craziest van you ever saw.
You don't have to have cheese sandwiches in the van, by the way. If you're, unless you want to be known for your detailed work, it's not really necessary. Then I would get the lady in the van and I would drive her to a remote area. An area most known for its remoteness. That's what I would look for. And anyways, I'd take her to the remote area where I had constructed a shed. And then I would get her in there and I would do that thing that makes me feel like God. And then her screams would just bounce off the walls and echo out into nowhere and never touch the ear of civilized man again. And then I would take her body to the woods and bury her in a very, very, very deep
shallow
grave.
Deep. Y'all, where's Janice? Please don't tell me I watched the wrong clip. Where is Janice? Where is Norm? Where's Janice? Did I watch the wrong clip, guys? Are y'all gonna yell at me like, no, Britt, you watched the wrong clip? Where was the psh? I mean, I laughed the whole time, and I get the deep grave versus the shot. I'm stressed. I'm so stressed out. I'm so stressed. Help me, y'all. Help me. Guide me in the right direction. Oh, Lord. All right. I gotta go. Go and have the day that you deserve. Peace.